Daniel Radcliffe, and you're watching MTV at the Movies.
Welcome back. We're here at Gringotts Bank. Last scene in the first film where Hagrid takes Harry to collect his money.
Mr. Harry Potter wishes to make a withdrawal.
And does Mr. Harry Potter have his key?
He sure has come a long way since then, huh? In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Harry, Ron, and Hermione attempt to sneak into the bank in order to find another Horcrux. But first, they must get past 60 goblins. The casting of all these goblins was no small affair, and needed the expertise of Warwick Davis, who plays a goblin himself, named Griphook.
Griphook is, as is common with all goblins, somebody you wouldn't trust, you know. You should never trust a goblin. And I think Griphook takes that to the next level. He's devious, and he'll get what he can out of every situation. But at the same time, I think underneath he's a bit of a coward. And it was fun sort of exploring all of those levels of his character in this film.
Okay, let's talk about Warwick Davis now. You worked with him in 1983 with Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
So how was it, now working with him again?
Yes, I never learned. The man's a monster. No, Warwick's lovely. I life cast him when he was 11. And, you know, he's not 11 anymore. But he's great. He's so used to wearing prosthetic makeups. He's an expert at acting through extreme makeup. And that does take some learning. And from that point of view, he's absolutely great. You know, we get on terribly well. And I always involve him in the makeups. And because he was playing Flitwick and Griphook, we had to make sure the two designs were totally different. I did actually start putting the wrong makeup on him on one day, but...
How did that come about?
I've been doing it 10 years. It's time to stop. You know, but he's just a lovely guy to work with. He's totally professional, and, you know, these makeups are hard work. 3 hours in the makeup chair, and then you're completely covered up all day. It gets hot. You know, you can get fed up. I've never seen him get cross about it, ever.
So what does our wizard Harry think about this little goblin?
Oh, it's fantastic. Warwick is one of the best people I know, one of the best actors I've worked with, and just one of the most professional people on set that you could ever wish to meet. He goes through probably 3.5 hours of prosthetic makeup every single morning, and to play Griphook the Goblin, and he does it without a word of complaint, and just does his job, and I cannot speak highly enough for Warwick Davis.
Warwick was a real treat to work with, you know, because Warwick's like he plays two characters in these movies, you know.
He's a legend.
And he is a legend. He is a legend, and he's a really charming man. Very gifted, I have to say. And very, what I really enjoyed about Hallows is I got to work with him playing this wonderful character called Griphook. He was a really cynical, strong, mercurial character. And Warwick pulled him, and Warwick is the complete opposite of that as a human being. He's just delightful and charming and funny and generous. And so to get inside this completely alter ego for him was a really interesting experience, and he really pulls it off brilliantly.
And look at here, they even make their own currency. This is awesome. Whoa! If only they were real. Well, I think they are, so... Once inside the vault, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, under disguise, travel deep into the bowels of the bank. Okay, let's talk about the great Helena Bonham Carter. Now, if I get this right, she actually plays Hermione pretending to be Bellatrix.
That's pretty confusing, isn't it? She plays Hermione pretending to be Bellatrix. That's a bit of a head muddle. But yeah, she does, and it was really interesting having to kind of take myself apart and really analyse myself in order to be able to tell Helena how to play me, if that makes sense.
Sort of, yeah, it's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
So what about the dragons and the statues? Are they all you create them from scratch?
Yes, they're all created from scratch. I mean, the dragon at Gringotts is all fully CG. It's a very complex process. It involves a previs of the sequence in advance, so we know what the dragon's doing. We then need to, for instance, when it's flying over London, we have to then shoot the plates, so we have to use helicopters and shoot aerial plates. We then have to put the dragon back into those plates and then work out what the kids are doing when they're flying on the back, and then the special effects team build a full-size dragon back that the kids can ride, and that's all driven through what we call a motion base, which is a computer-controlled
animatronic base that we feed the animation in moves the dragon around, so the kids are actually riding on this thing. It's a bit like a bucking bronco, but it's actually being driven by animation.
Oh wow.
So they're actually 20 feet in the air riding on a real dragon, and they feel like they are. And then we take that and we replace all of the base with the CG dragon, and it looks like they're riding a dragon, basically.
So right now, just about everyone is pretending to be somebody else. Bellatrix is Hermione. Or is that Hermione being Bellatrix? I'm really confused. Coming up after the break, we get closer to the final battle.
Harry Potter, join me and confront